Hi students, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about our next topic, tissue culture. In the previous lecture, in the previous class, we discussed about single cell proteins and their importance. How do they compensate the requirement of food in the world? A food which contains more quality protein with low fats has desirable characters, already we discussed. Right students? Today we are going to discuss about an important alternative technology what we are using for producing more desirable plants in less time and less space. Understood students? So now we better to focus our concentration on the alternate technique what we are using to make produce different economically important and cultivated crops. How do we produce in the laboratory conditions? Where we are going to produce more plants in the laboratory conditions, in the aseptic conditions, in the sterilized conditions. We are producing plants by following a method of by using containers like in vitro culture. What is the culture? It is in vitro culture. So here plant tissue culture occurs in many ways, but here we first discuss about in vitro culture. In vitro means a container like test tube. In the test tube we are trying to grow a different varieties of crop plants or desirable plants. We are growing by using a very small tissue or a group of cells or organs, whatever it may be, any part of the plants, desirable plant we have taken out and cultured it in the test tube in the laboratory conditions. Then from the piece of tissue or an organ, we are cultured them and growing them into a whole plant. Understood? Like that, a large number of thousands of plants we are producing by using a small piece of organ or tissue or cells. How we grow them in the laboratory conditions, especially in the test tube, by providing culture nutrient media, culture on that specific. Why should we go for tissue culture, which is also called as plant tissue culture? The main thing is, main reason for going plant tissue culture as traditional techniques. When we have some traditional techniques in the plant breeding or crop improvement, we have so many traditional techniques are there. So as the traditional techniques failed to keep pace with the demand, okay, where we are going to follow some techniques in the plant breeding or crop improvement, those are called traditional techniques. When these traditional techniques are going to be failed, which are very much important to keep pace with demand, okay, and it is the purposeful and needed and required method and alternative method or technology we are using, that is called tissue culture. Whatever the very fast and improved systems we are introducing into the crop improvement, introducing into the crop technologies, what they are very much helpful for crop improvement. So in that way we have another method and technology called tissue culture. You better to write tissue culture. This tissue culture clearly explained by two important concepts, that is what is tissue culture and how does it mean, what is the meaning of tissue culture, and second one is environmental conditions, what are the conditions we are following to do tissue culture for making a whole plant from a small or a group of cells or a small piece of organ or a tissue which we have taken out from the desirable plant. So, what it is and everything, whatever the factors, whatever the terms are needed to understand the tissue culture, we discussed. So, tissue culture mean, why should we go for tissue culture? It is as a traditional, note down students, as a traditional breeding techniques failed when we are not sufficient, when we are not having sufficient techniques to compensate the food, or producing plants which they are giving more food, which are economically important, or cultivated crops. When we are not producing them in the right population, then we go for another technique and technology. So, it is the another technology like tissue culture in the field of plant breeding, in the field of agriculture. So, to produce a variety of plants, desirable plants, okay, we are also producing through the technology called tissue culture. So, as a traditional breeding techniques failed to keep pace with development or demand, to keep pace with demand, which is purposefully introducing, that is fast and improved systems. Okay, we are going to maintain as a traditional breeding techniques fail to keep pace with the demand, which is purposefully fast improved systems introduced into the crop improvement, to improve the crop. To improve the crop or varieties of crop requires some technologies. So many technologies already we follow. When they are not maintained that much, what we called, they are not maintained sufficient number of plant and their products, which when they are not given to us, then we go for another technology like tissue culture only. Understood? Where we are producing variety of plants in the crop improvement. Understood? So, just we are producing different kinds of desirable plants in a less area or less space and in a less time Now, got the point, students? The main thing is, here we are producing different varieties of desirable plants or whatever the plants are needed commercially or economically, the plants which are more valuable, those plants we are increasing their number by following the technology called tissue culture. In less time and less space, we can able to produce thousands of plants. Understood? So, this is the tissue culture technology. The technology tissue culture is explained by two different ways or two different aspects. In that, the first one is what is tissue culture. First, we know the meaning of tissue culture. What is tissue culture? And second one is environmental conditions what we provided to do the tissue culture. So, environmental conditions. environmental conditions. These two are we are discussing in this topic tissue culture. Okay, before going to discussion of these two, we better to know the process tissue culture who first introduced. This was first introduced by the tissue culture was first introduced by or discovered by Haberlange. You please note down that scientist name Haberlange in the year 1902. Later this was again reopened during the period of time 1950s. 1950s. Okay, from which time? From which time? Sorry. From which time it was started to produce thousands of plants, desirable plants, okay, in a less space and in less time. Okay, students. So have a look into the particular method and technology like tissue culture, how it is going on to get obtain desirable plants with, which is producing in less time and less space. Okay, first one. What does tissue culture mean? First we better to discuss about what does the tissue culture mean. What does tissue culture mean? Yes, students, tissue culture, here meaning is there. Okay, we are going to take a part of plant. What is the plant it is? It is the plant, desirable plant. We have to choose. We are going to choose a plant which is going to possess desirable characters. Suppose to take it is a plant. From which we are going to take a small piece or a pot. Okay, suppose to choose this is a desirable plant. What is the plant it is? Desirable plant. Because it has a desirable characters. Already you know what is the desirable characters we are expecting from the plants, you know. Already we discussed it. Suppose to what we call select one plant as a desirable plant. From this plant, if we are going to collect a group of cells from any part of this plant, if we are going to collect a group of cells or grouping of cells, group of cells are nothing but what it is? Tissue or organ, whatever the part you may have taken from any part of the plant. Understood? Just we have to collect a small piece of or part of the plant. That particular plant which we collected from the desirable plant is called explant. You please remember. You have to note down what it is called. It called as explant. Explant is nothing but it is not a complete plant. It is the plant material or plant part. Suppose to take here a plant, what it is a desirable plant. From this plant, any part of the plant, whether it is from, we have to collected that piece of parts like group of cells or tissue or organ from any part of the plant, whether from root or leaf or stem. Understood, students? Or tip of the plant or auxiliary buds, whatever the part you have chosen, we have to collected that particular part of the plant is called explant. You please remember. This is the explant is the material, our interesting material on which we are going to do the process of tissue culture. Now got the point? on which we are going to do the process of plant tissue culture or tissue culture, it is called explant. Now got the point? This is the explant. We have to carefully collected and placed it in our lab. We have to send it to the lab or where we have performed the activity or technology tissue culture. Understood? So this is the explant. Whatever the material we have taken from the plant, here all these are the group of cells or tissue or organ we have to taken out. Note down, students, taken out from desirable plant. Now got the point? From desirable plant. Note down. Whatever the plant part we have taken from the plant, it is called explant. This explant we are sending to the lab in which we are doing tissue culture. Now got the point? This is the explant. We have to collect it and place it in containers. Placed it in the right containers. Understood, students? This explant, whatever it may be, this explant should possess an ability. This explant, whatever the part of the plant we have taken, it should possess a basic characteristic feature. A basic characteristic feature that is totipotency. What it is, students? Totipotency. Whatever the part of the plant we have taken as a explant, this explant should possess a particular basic characteristic feature like totipotency. What is totipotency? Totipotency is nothing but it is a capacity or ability of explant. The capacity or ability of explant or group of cells or tissue or an organ. Whatever the material we have taken from the plant should possess totipotency. Totipotency means ability or strength or capacity of explant which give rise whole plant. Now got the point? What is the main activity we are doing in the technology of tissue culture? We are by using small parts of the plants, desirable plants, we are using small organs or small tissues or cells we have taken out, and from that small pieces of organs or tissue or cells which we are calling as explant, we are ready to produce whole plant. We are ready to produce whole plant is called totipotency. So now you better to write the meaning of totipotency. Totipotency is the capacity, note down, students, or ability of whom? Ability of explant. Ability of explant means group of cells or tissues or organs. Now got the point? So the ability of that particular organs or cells only we are nothing but explant only we are calling totipotency. So is the capacity or ability of explant which rapidly divide and give a whole plant body. A whole plant body is called totipotency. Totipotency is nothing but a strength or ability or capacity of explant through which we are going to producing, supposed to take a small piece of organ or tissue, whatever the organ you may taken here, whatever the part you may have taken, this is the part you just understand as explant. It is explant. Now this explant should possess a totipotency. What it is? Totipotency or totipotency. Due to the totipotency, this is the explant. Slowly it is growing well. slowly it is growing well by repeated cell divisions, a number of cell divisions, from that only they are trying to produce, from that only they are producing what it is, a new baby plant, what it is comes out with small roots and okay, small leaves. Now got the point? So from that particular activity what we done in the particular process is called tissue culture. Tissue culture technique. So through the tissue culture technique what finally we made? What finally we made? We made thousands of desirable plants, because this is the plant completely genetically it is identical to the parent plant. Genetically identical to the parent plant, because we have taken small piece of tissues from the desirable plant only. From that piece or the tissue which we are calling explant only we are producing young generations. Young generations. So somatic parts of the plants are able to give rise whole plant body through the process of through the technology of tissue culture. Understood? These are called, these particular plants are called what it is? Clones. Clones. They are, sorry, those are called clones. Clones, which they are produced from somatic parts. That's why those are also called as soma clones. Understood, students? So we are producing them in the very less time and less space na. That's why this tissue culture is also called as micro propagation. You please remember, micro propagation. It also called as micro propagation. Means we produce a large number of desirable plants in a less time and less area or less space. That's why this propagation we are calling what na? Micro propagation. What it is? Micro propagation. Understood? So finally from the explant we are producing thousands of clones. Understood? They are developed from the somatic parts of the plants. That's why those are also called as soma clones. Understood? So this is the activity we are doing here. Here what we discussed here, okay, the tissue culture is nothing but we are going to select a desirable plant. This is the desirable plant. Okay, from this desirable plant only any part of this plant which has ability of cell division, rapid cell division to produce whole plant body, it is called totipotency. Whatever the part may be. So if they may have totipotency, that particular parts we have taken, or that particular group of cells or tissue or organ we have taken as explant, that explant we are using for the tissue culture method for producing a number of thousands of young copies of plants or clones which are genetically identical to the parent plant. Now got the point? They are genetically identical to the parent plant, that's why those are called clones. Understood? Already we discussed, na? So this is the activity we are doing here. Then how to do this activity? By providing some artificial climatic conditions or environmental conditions through which or facilities through which we are producing young generations through a small piece of tissue or small piece of organ of the plants what we have taken as explant. From the explant, how to increase the number of the plants through the technology tissue culture, have a look. So here we are going to discuss about next important aspect to explain clearly about the tissue culture, that is environmental conditions. Environmental conditions. Okay. So before going to discuss about environmental conditions, here discuss Already we discussed desirable plant, which we have taken some pieces of organs or tissues as explant, which possess totipotency. Totipotency means ability or capacity of explant, which give rise to whole plant. Okay, so here we are using what ma containers in the lab. Different containers like vessels we are using here. Some vessels are needed here, and some okay test tubes are needed here. Instruments, test tubes are needed here, and some chemicals. Some chemicals we are using here, chemicals, okay, chemicals like especially nutrient media or culture media, it also called as culture media we requires, and along with the culture media we also requires an important chemicals like what it is, an important chemical like okay, sterilization purpose, some chemicals we are using na, that is sterilized chemicals we are using here, sterilized chemicals like some disinfectant cleaners or antimicrobial chemicals we are using to environmental conditions. Here three aspects of in vitro culture we are following. Okay, in vitro culture means what it is. First you focus your concentration on okay, in vitro culture, what is the meaning it is. In vitro culture means here it we are using what we have, okay, it we are using here some containers. What they are? Containers. All these are the different containers we are using like vessels, test tubes and different instruments we are using. Okay, but the culture we done in the test tubes, the culture of the explant, the culture of the explant into baby plant, where we done, where we have done, we done only in the test tube. So in the test tube we done that culture of the explant into a baby plant, it is called okay, test tube culture or in vitro culture. Okay, culture of plants occurs in the in vitro culture means a test tube culture, in the test tube only we done. So here now coming to the point, this environmental conditions explained by three aspects, students. In that the first one is nutrient media, we first discuss about nutrient media, and second one is sterilization or aseptic conditions, the third one is proper aeration to the growing explant. Okay, these three aspects are needed for doing tissue culture in the laboratory conditions. In the laboratory conditions, the lab should be possess aseptic conditions. We done these tissue culture method in the aseptic conditions or sterilized conditions, no pathogen or whatever the atmosphere we made free of microorganisms, it should be free of microbes. That type of conditions we are calling aseptic conditions or sterilized conditions we follow to do tissue culture. Otherwise what happens? The contamination of pathogens are taking place. Then all the new generations what we producing are also okay, possess some diseases. So that's why to control the diseases or what we call is not give the permission for eluents of pathogens. That's why we maintain aseptic conditions to do this tissue culture. And next one is proper aeration. Without oxygen there is no possibility to do the cell division or metabolic functions by the cells. Without cell division where is the possibility to make tissues and organs into a baby plant? No. That's why proper aeration is also very important. Artificially what proper aeration techniques we follow to give sufficient amount of air to the growing explant. So coming to the point, nutrient media. So what is the first aspect we are going to discuss under the environmental conditions? We are providing artificial facilities or artificial nutritive or nourishment for the growing explant into a baby plant. So here this explant may be liquid or solid, which should be or it should be maintained, pH, optimum pH, maintain optimum pH. Optimum pH is about 5.7. 5.7 pH should be maintained by the nutrient media, whether it is liquid or solid. So mostly we seen we have use okay, agar or jelly like substance what it contains, okay, what we are utilizing as nutrient media. Into that media we are adding different kinds of sources of carbon sources we have to add like sucrose, vitamins, amino acids, etc. And also inorganic salts are needed to add. Inorganic salts also added and along with plant growth regulators or PGRs. Plant growth regulators are nothing but phytohormones or plant growth substances. Plant growth hormones are also added. What naturally the hormones available, different kinds of hormones we seen of course, but here mostly we use two different kinds of phytohormones we are using in the tissue culture or into the nutrient media like auxins and cytokinins. Now we have a look into the discussion of all these particular nutrient media and what is proper methods we follow to do, provide nutrient media to the culture of explant. Okay students. So nutrient media, here nutrient media mostly we are using what already we discussed now. So that nutrient media or culture media possess especially like whether it is solid or liquid, and it maintains pH, optimum pH, is about 5.7, and also here we also add to the nutrient media like agar. Mostly we use agar. To agar we add organic sources like carbon sources we have to add. These carbon sources like sucrose, vitamins, amino acids, etc. Plus we have to use inorganic salts, minerals. Inorganic salts we have to add like essential nutrients, essential micro and macronutrients, essential micro and macronutrients we have to add it, like nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, right Nana, sulfur, boron, iron, like etc. All those are the nutrients we have to add to the nutrient media as inorganic salts. And also we have to add a very important chemicals like phytohormones or plant growth regulators. What they are, students? Phytohormones or PGRs, plant growth regulators. Especially so many are there of course, like auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, and some other phytohormones, ABA, abscisic acid, and ethylene. All these are the varieties of chemical substances which come under hormones, which we seen in the plants now. That's why those are called plant hormones. Plant means phyto, so phytohormones. Okay, among all those different types of phytohormones like auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, ABA, ethylene, we must use in this nutrient media two important essential required phytohormones like auxins and cytokinins. Here one important point you note down. Okay, these two are natural phytohormones, what naturally they are present in the plant body, but we are doing it is not natural process. Nature is not perform this tissue culture method. We only perform this activity. Now that's why we must use some synthetic phytohormones or artificial phytohormones we are using. In the place of auxins we are using some synthetic auxins, and in the place of cytokinins we are using some synthetic cytokinins. Understood? So here in the place of auxins mostly we are using a synthetic phytohormone like auxin is 2,4-D. You please remember. What is the phytohormone like auxin we are using into the nutrient media for the culture of explant, that is 2,4-D. For the place, in the place of cytokinin we are using here A synthetic cytokinin is called BAP, means benzyl aminopurine. You please note down, benzyl aminopurine. Okay, this is the synthetic phytohormone like cytokinin. These two are we have to add to the nutrient media. So when we are providing all these different kinds of nourishment to the nutrient media, then that is the suitable nutrient media which is ready to get sterilization process. So we are not enter into the tissue culture method without sterilization, proper sterilization of nutrient media and proper sterilization of instruments or containers what we are using, and proper minimum sterilization or required sterilization of explant. So now we are discussing about that second method, that is sterilization or aseptic conditions what we have done here. Understood students? Right, coming to the point. Second aspect, that is sterilization. Sterilization or aseptic conditions. Aseptic conditions means the conditions which we provided with made by us, made by man for free of microbes, free of microbes, no microorganism taking part in the tissue culture, no microorganism enter into the tissue culture which is going to damage the harm to the young generations what we are producing. So that is the sterilization conditions we maintain. So in the sterilization conditions, here sterilization occurs in the tissue culture. Occurrence of sterilization in tissue culture. Note down students, tissue culture is two types. They are external sterilization, and complete sterilization. External sterilization and complete sterilization. Now have a look into the external sterilization and complete sterilization what we made. So here the sterilization is very very important for free of microbes. Otherwise microorganisms are going to destroy the nutrient media. From the nutrient media they are slowly destroy the explant. The explant which is not perform their activities normally, rapid metabolic functions like cell division, which is basically need to regenerate the young organs for making young generations like young plants. Understood? So that's why we have to remove all the microorganisms by following methods of sterilization through which we are providing aseptic conditions. No microorganism or no pathogen entry we seen in the process of tissue culture. Understood? In the two different sterilization activities we are going to do. In that the first one is external sterilization, second one is complete sterilization. External sterilization is completely the sterilization process what we have done on explant. Explant is a living component, you know. It is a living matter, means different group of cells or tissues or organs we have taken from the plant. We have to sustain the genetic material and protoplast as it is, should not give any destructions there. If you are giving some destructions, what happens? That protoplast is not maintain metabolic functions, then it is not useful for the production of young generations. That's why without any damage of explant we have to sterilize the explant. Peripheral portion of the explant we have to sterilize by using disinfectant cleaners or disinfectant chemicals or antimicrobial chemicals. Some detergents they are using, right, to kill the microorganisms which they are present on the surface of the explant. We should not go into the cells, we should not go into the tissues and organs. We have to sterilize, we have to remove the microbes on the surface of the explant only. Understood, students? That's why that is the sterilization process we are calling external sterilization. So external sterilization is completely related to explant. We have done external sterilization for explant only. Surface sterilization, it also called as surface sterilization. The next one is complete sterilization. What we have done, that complete sterilization we done on containers, vessels, test tubes, whatever the apparatus we are using here, whatever the nutrient media we are using, everything is completely come under complete sterilization. Now have a look into the external sterilization. Okay, here external sterilization we done for explant only, explant. It also known as, this external sterilization is also known as surface sterilization. What is it? What it is, students? Surface sterilization. This surface sterilization methods we done only the outer side of the or outer surface of explant sterilized is treated with or sterilized with antimicrobial chemicals or disinfectant cleaners. So just we clean the surface of the explant, that's what is called external sterilization or surface sterilization. This is the explant material. After the proper sterilization, we have to carefully keep it in the laboratory conditions or aseptic conditions. We should not give the chances of entry of pathogens into the explant what already sterilized. Understood? So now we are going to collect this explant and transfer this explant, sterilized explant onto the nutrient media. Before going to send this explant onto the nutrient media, that nutrient media and the containers in which we have taken that nutrient media, everything should be get a proper sterilization is needed to done. So that sterilization we are calling what complete sterilization. Complete sterilization is discussed about our complete sterilization will be done in containers, nutrient media and test tubes. All these are the different chemicals. As nutrient media we are using, containers we are using, test tubes we are using, all these are get sterilization, proper sterilization. By providing different alcoholic substances and antimicrobial chemicals and dry air we have to provide them, and we have to sterilize them in the autoclave method, autoclave sterilizer we are using. So in that they are providing steam, very hot steam they are providing to all the nutrient media and containers. Then all the containers and nutrient media is free with microorganisms. So that is the suitable materials or apparatus what now we better to use to continue the process of tissue culture for making soma clones. Now got the point, students? This is the information about sterilization or aseptic conditions. Understood? This particular complete sterilization will be done to free of microorganisms in all the containers and nutrient media. That is we are calling complete sterilization. After the finishing complete sterilization of all these instruments, in that only we just onto that nutrient media in which test tubes we have taken that nutrient media, onto the nutrient media, the complete that external sterilization or surface sterilization what we have done on explant, we better to transfer. We better to transfer the explant, sterilized explant, onto the sterilized nutrient media. That process is called inoculation. What it is? Inoculation. So by using that inoculation, by the process of inoculation, how to absorb nutrients from the nutrient media by explant, and how that explant is repeatedly differentiated or repeatedly divided into a large number of cells or group of cells which they are going to form undifferentiated mass of cells or group of cells or proliferating cells are called callus. Okay, in the majority of the cases we are observing explant is producing callus. Callus is a group of cells which are not differentiated into organs, and some other cases the explant when it is directly producing root and shoot, and in some cases directly they are producing plantlets. So everything we discussed. Okay students, in complete sterilization, what we seen, we just this sterilization done in nutrient media. Note down. Okay, and instruments and containers, whatever the containers we are using here, containers, instruments. These are going to sterilize completely by providing hot and steam vapors or alcoholic materials or disinfectant cleaners. The complete media and the complete containers instruments we have to proper cleaning are needed to done in all these different kinds of materials. That is we are calling complete sterilization. But whereas in in the explant we have done what it is surface sterilization or external sterilization, because we are not we should not go into the protoplasm or nucleus. If you concern with them by using chemicals, the protoplasmic atmospheric changes is taking place, then it is not useful for tissue culture. That's why we just done the sterilization process on the surface of the explant, that is we are calling what external or surface sterilization. In this especially we focus the concentration in nutrient media and its sterilization. This nutrient media we sterilized by using a special steam sterilizer. We are mostly using for nutrient media and its sterilization, steam sterilizer. This is steam sterilizer called autoclave. Autoclave. It is a small instrument in that we providing hot vapors. That instrument provides hot vapors or steam. Hot steam vapors they provide. Okay, to the nutrient media. Nutrient media. This nutrient media we collected and autoclave. Nutrient media collected and autoclaved. Autoclaved means we have to place it. Whatever the nutrient media we have already taken in the test tube. In the test tube we already placed nutrient media. This nutrient media along with the test tubes. Okay, more amount of nutrient media we have to taken into so many number of test tubes. How many test tubes we are using to do the culture of explant? All those are the different test tubes we have to place in the autoclave. A small machine or a device, that is autoclave. That autoclaved at 121 degrees Celsius. This much temperature is maintained by the autoclave. Okay, with 15 pounds of pressure. 15 pounds of pressure maintained by the autoclave method. Okay, for nearly 15 minutes time we have to place them. 15 minutes. We have to keep this nutrient media which I have already taken in this test tube, just in the particular autoclave or a device like autoclave nearly for 15 minutes time at a temperature 120 degrees Celsius with pressure 15 pounds. Then slowly that microorganisms which they may be present in the nutrient media and the containers, simply they are going to be die. Then no pathogen activity we seen in the tissue culture. So no destruction of explant. It normally grow and give a proper result. Otherwise what happens if the proper sterilization is not done? Then all the microbial activity is growing very well, because this is the nutrient media which is offering food to the microorganisms especially, and first organisms which utilize the food in the nature by microorganisms only. So whatever the nutrient media we are directly using in the tissue culture, it already rotten by or destroyed by microorganisms. It is not useful for the growing explant into clones. That's why we have to follow these sterilized processes properly. Whatever the instrument we are using, whatever the media we are using, whatever the explant we are using, everything we have to done before utilize them, we have to done that sterilization process only. The living material, that is explant only we are using here. The remaining all are non-living materials. That non-living materials we have done complete sterilization, but the living material like explant we have done surface sterilization or external sterilization. Understood? Now after that, one more important point we have to add here. Okay, we have to provide proper aeration to the growing explant into a whole plant. So all these three are the aspects we discussed here. Understood? Now process. Now we better to discuss about the process of tissue culture. Process of tissue culture. Process of tissue culture. In that what we have done, first we have to take that nutrient media in the test tubes. It is the nutrient media. Okay, what it contains? Nutrients. This is nutrient media in a test tube. Note down students, test tube. Here only what already we have, some explants we have already taken out here. Some organs or different parts we have already taken. These are sterilized explants. Sterilized explants. Now these sterilized explants we have to place them in the onto the nutrient media. It is what it is, sterilized nutrient media. Sterilized nutrient media. So when we are going to take that particular okay, here only we are placing explant. See here, this is explant. This is explant. We transfer the explant from the sterilized explant onto the nutrient media. That is the process we are calling what? Inoculation. You please note down students. Inoculation. Inoculation means what? Transfer of explant onto the nutrient media. Understood? So this explant, now after the placing explant on the nutrient media, you have to leave them nearly 3 to 4 weeks time. Leave them 3 to 4 weeks. This particular period of time, it is called incubation time. Incubation time. This incubation time, in this time what happens? That explant absorbs. In this particular time, explant absorbs nutrients. Absorb nutrients and starts cell division. Now got the points? So to absorb nutrients properly by the nutrient media by explant, we have to leave them 3 to 4 weeks in the incubation period. Then in the incubation period, all the explants are absorbs nutrients sufficiently to continue their process of cell division, through which a number of cells are going to be produced and are very much useful for making organs in the young plants. What we are expecting from this culture of the explant. Understood students? So after 3 to 4 weeks, this is the particular process. After 3 to 4 weeks, what happens? Okay, this is the explant growing into undifferentiated, no organization of course here, but undifferentiated mass of cells will be produced here. Group of cells are going to be produced here. Group of cells we are producing here. Okay, here group of undifferentiated proliferating cells will be formed. Cells formed called callus. What it is? Callus. Callus is quite common, but in some cases without the formation of callus, with formation of callus, directly from the explant they are producing baby plants or some embryos they are developed from the callus also. We are discussing about all those things only. So group of undifferentiated proliferating cells formed called callus. Understood? This is the callus formation. After that, of course, when we are giving time to increase the cell number, what happens? Automatically the consumption of nutrients increases because the metabolic activities are increases. Now got the point here, rapid cell division we seen. So the consumption of nutrients increases, that's why that particular explant which is going to grow very well into callus, we have to transfer into different vessels, different test tubes, which contains different proportions of nutrient media. When one test tube to another test tube we are transferring that material, then the nutrient levels, nutrient media and its concentration is also increases, and sufficient adequate nutrient media they provided, adequate facilities they provided for growth of the callus into baby plant or differentiation of organs. And we have to change the phytohormones according to the requirement of organs and organization during the process of organogenesis. In the organogenesis, first we are expecting to see in the tissue culture, that is stem or small leaf primordial like shoot comes out of the callus. For producing shoot or for the production of 2 to 3 centimeters length of the shoot what comes out of the callus, we have to use proper higher amounts and higher concentrations of BAP or cytokinins. Cytokinins are very familiar for the production of shoot. You please remember, it is neat point. Understood, students? BAP, where we are using in the place of cytokinins, it is the artificial cytokinin what we are using like benzyl aminopurine. Is very much familiar for the production of shoot. You please remember. What about the importance of auxins? Auxins like synthetic auxins what we are using in the nutrient media like 2,4-D. They are very much familiar for the production of root. Understood? During tissue culture. So that's why according to the requirement, according to the organogenesis, what required to comes out of the callus, which organ comes out of the callus, whether it is a root or stem or shoot, based on that only we provide and change the concentrations of phytohormones along with the nutrient media. Then that particular organs are going to be produced. So like that, from one test tube to another test tube we are going to alter and produce from the callus slowly. This is the callus, of course. From the callus slowly a small shoot will be comes out. It is a shoot. For the shoot production we just use what it is, cytokinins, which are familiar for the projections or the production of or producing organs like shoot. Understood? Cytokinin. In the place of cytokinin what we are using, you know very well, BAP as artificial cytokinin we are using. Later we are producing what? With a small leaf primordia it comes out. Later it is producing small roots are projected into the nutrient media towards the bottom of the test tube. These are called roots, root projections. For the root only we are using more amount of sufficient concentrations of auxins only. In the place of auxins what we are using here, 2,4-D we are using, 2,4-D. So based on the right concentrations, whether we are using more concentrations of cytokinins, then they are increasing shoot if we are using more phytohormones like auxins, then it is going to give root. Like that only, finally we are producing young clones are going to be developed. Young clones are going to be developed. From the nutrient media, young clones or young plants are going to be developed. Young plants are going to be developed from the nutrient media. This is nutrient media. This is nutrient media. All these are the roots. All these are the shoot part. Understood? Shoot part. So this is the young plant what it is produced. This is a young plant produced. Young plant produced. It is called soma clones. Soma clones. This is the young plant. Now it is transferred to, when it grow certain height and certain development, then we collect them and place them in the glass house. We have to place them in the glass house. In the glass house, we just maintain high humidity, high humid conditions and less light conditions. Reduce light and high humid conditions. Slowly we are trying to adapt the plant towards the environmental conditions. After few weeks time, from the glass house, these are the plants. From the glass house, these are the plants. Directly we collect them and place them in the soil. This is the soil. In the soil directly we have to grow, place these plants only. Place these plants. Okay, when they have adapt towards the environmental conditions, sufficient light what they have available, then slowly from the glass house, these are the plants are going to be transferred into the soil. Then they are going to lead their life like a normal plants only. Okay, normal plants only with the desirable characters which are identical to the parents. Now got the point? So like that by following the method of tissue culture, we finally producing a large number of or thousands of plants we are producing, okay, which they are slowly adapt towards the environmental conditions where high temperature or whatever the extreme conditions are going to be tolerated by these plants. Slowly what we adapted by using glass house. Then when they are easy to adapt, and that adaptation how we are understanding only by the growing. Okay, from week to week whatever the new leaves or new growth we are observing in the plant means what it is. Though we are placing them in the glass house or direct environment, if they are growing normally means what it is, that is the property, that is the features understanding as they are adapted towards the environmental conditions. They are leading life normally, okay, into a normal plants. Then like that whatever the desirable plants we are commercially valuable plants are needed, they are available. Especially the commercially or economically or economically important plants are made through this method. Economically important plants. Plants made through this technique. Plant tissue culture technique. Like plants are like you know right, fruit plants, especially like apples, okay, tomato, banana, and timber yielding plants like teak plants, and some medicinal value medicinal plants, and for the paper making paper also we are using some plants like eucalyptus, and medicinal plants also eucalyptus, and bamboo plants, bamboo. All these are the different kinds of plants what actually they are growing rapidly through the technology called plant tissue culture. What it is? Plant tissue culture. So in this particular tissue culture we are also getting some other sources of plants from the callus. Here callus is the undifferentiated proliferating cells we are producing into a baby plant. But in some cases these explants are directly they produce some embryos like structures. These are called somatic embryos. From the somatic embryos also we are directly producing so many plants. So it is a bypassing method. We are also separate these embryos and grow them in the separate nutrient media. Then from all the embryos also we are producing a large number of plants which are identical to the parent plant only, parent plant. Then like that, whatever the method we follow, whether directly we are obtaining plants from the embryos or from the callus, by means of all these methods we finally producing, ultimately the result is soma clones. We are producing from the from very less time, in very less time and less space, less area. That's why we are calling what this tissue culture, also called as micropropagation. You please remember, students, micropropagation. Through this micropropagation, like plant tissue culture, we are producing so many thousands of desirable plants which are genetically identical to the parent plant. That's why those are called clones. Understood, students? Now we better to discuss about as very little small topics, that is about in some cases we have very good yielding plants are there in our environment or in our nature, but they are mostly affected by diseases. In that situation, how can we produce plants without disease from the diseased plants or infected plants? From the infected plants are infectious with the disease, but they have very good character and desirable trait, that is giving more yielding. Then how can we produce the plants without disease from the infected plants? By following another method, that is come under tissue culture only. In the in vitro conditions we are growing them by collecting explant, especially from the specific regions like root tip, shoot tip and axillary bud tip. Especially stem tip or shoot tip and axillary bud tip we are using. The tip what actually we have collected, we have taken out from the plant body, though the plant is infected with diseases. If we collect the meristematic regions of the infected plant which has high yielding character, then that meristematic tissue is not giving chance and opportunity for the growing microbes. You know very well that tips of the stem and tips of the axillary buds are not regions of growth of viruses, especially viruses. The viruses may not mutate or replicate their number along with the speedy cell division we see in the meristematic region. Understood, students? In the meristematic region, the very much speed cell division or rapid cell division we see in, and due to high rate of cell division and due to lack of proper environmental conditions for the viruses and their growth, simply that meristematic tissues are zones of meristematic tissue, in which zones are regions of the plant body they are present, like shoot tip and axillary bud tip we have collected, and it acts as explant. Then we culture as it is, that shoot tip or root tip or axillary bud tip we have collected and used as explant. Then as it is we are growing into young plants. That young plants are not infected by the not showing any infectious diseases what already there in their parental plant. They are very much genetically identical and they are giving more yielding without any diseases. So such kinds of utilizations also be done. So we better to discuss about all those two topics, like free of diseases what the plants we made and somatic hybridization. This is the information about tissue culture, which is very much needed for producing thousands of desirable plants in the less time and less space, students. That's why it is also called as micropropagation. In the next lecture we are going to discuss about the plants what we made through the tissue culture only, but without diseases. We are collecting young plants from the diseased plants. Why should we producing young plants from diseased plants? Though they have disease, but they have another desirable trait like high yielding. So high yielding plants we are producing without diseases by collecting meristematic regions of those infected plants. That is another small topic is there. And also we better to discuss about somatic hybridization, means protoplast fusion from two different varieties. Understood, students? Two different varieties of plants we are using here from two different varieties of same species, and their somatic parts like cells only directly we have collected. That cells we turn them into protoplasts, means we have to remove the cell walls, and that two different genetically different varieties of protoplasts by chemically we are going to fuse them and make a particular hybrid cell. That hybrid cell we are calling somatic parts we are using now, that's why that hybrid cell we are calling somatic hybrid. The process is known as somatic hybridization, and how it is very much useful for the different economically important crops later we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.